Oh, wow. Wow, that's wild. I am Joshua from Germany and welcome you to my YouTube channel Agatebay. I am the owner of the company and founded the business about 10 years ago. My passion are to cut agates, and that's what I want to do with you today. These agates are from Morocco, from the location Kerrouchen in the Middle Atlas Mountains of Morocco, and these are a very rare type because that's what we call the pink agates from Morocco, and these are some of the best agates from an entire year's production from this location. So these are extremely rare to find. I have been developing good contacts with the miners over years, and that's why they're keeping the best pieces aside for me, and that's how I end up with spectacular pieces like this. So let's get right into it and see how these will be turning out. I would think this is the natural shape of the stone, with this being the bottom of the nodule, and here at the bottom you can see there's a largely broken window with this kind of salmon type pink color, which made this location famous for these rare agates, but also I can see some bright blue and white and possibly a little bit of parallax as well as I'm turning it in slight angles. And there's different opportunities on how I can cut them. I assume this triangular shape is part of a dissolving pseudomorph, so I could either cut through here and get two even halves out of it, one right half, one left half, or I could cut it just parallel to the bottom layer, but I think I prefer cutting it this way for some reason, and yeah, just personal preference in this case, and let's see how it's turning out. Nice parallax. It turned out to be a pretty solid piece with some gorgeous parallax as well. It also kept this one salmon colored layered band surrounding the entire piece, so it is a great piece for the location, especially with the fine banding here in these white sections with the parallax. I'm checking if I can see some fractures, and it looks like there's a small fracture running diagonally inside here, and I can see two tiny little fractures here in the very center of the specimen, but it's still a nice one, and yeah, let's see what else is going to be coming out. What a weird and good looking piece this is. The banding looks absolutely fantastic in this piece right here. Such a fantastic contrast with these salmon colors. I can see parallax all over the piece, but unfortunately also a big fracturing line that's running all the way back here. I can see another one right here, which I assume is somewhere going in this direction, and the other one is following up right there. So I want to avoid all of this area here, which makes it difficult to place a good cut. Now that I oiled the agate up a little bit, I can see that there's some unpleasant fracturing lines running across here. So I will be cutting higher than the two windows and even above the fracturing line, and then have an angle like this. Oh, it just turned out to be a beautiful specimen. Look at how great the symmetry is despite the weird cutting angle, and also the banding, just great depth in between all the areas, and it even looks like a little face here with the two eyes and the mouth right there in the very center of the piece. Great coloring as well, some parallax. I think I could not have done better with this piece than I did. So I'm very happy with it. The next piece is another really interesting one. It looks like this window here is a pretty fresh break, but it could also be caused that it was from some natural fracturing. What makes this piece interesting as well is that I can see there's like some pseudomorph sections within the quartz area here of the piece, then surrounded by these salmon colored bands, and then some bright blue parallax surrounding the entire specimen. I want to cut right through the middle of this pseudomorph and then across this piece next to the window, leaving a few millimeters of space, and then coming back up here right it through that pseudomorph area.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's wild.
This has to be one of the wildest pieces I've ever cut from this location, but the reason is not this small pseudomorph area down here, but this incredible pseudomorph that formed inside of the center of the specimen. Look at how many different colors it has and how much contrast in the pseudomorph as well. And then all surrounded by this beautiful salmon colored layered and this gorgeous depths of this bright blue and white surrounding the entire specimen. And the pseudomorph section I was looking at from the bottom of the stone actually almost entirely disappeared. This is only the small section right here down there, but it entirely dissolved and only leaves the center pseudomorph. But what a spectacular specimen. This is another spectacular one, but also falls into the category of a no-brainer because it's got this largely sized opened window on the left side and another small window on the right side where you can see exactly the amethyst will be penetrating all the way through the entire stone. And I can also see some great parallax in the outer white bands, so we'll just cut it through here in the middle, so I have two equally nice halves. Of course the druzy will disappear because it's just closing down. I don't think there will be any big surprises, probably a couple fractures here in the white banded parallax, but anyways, it will be a fantastic specimen. So let's just rip it through.
Okay. Wow.
It turned out to be a pretty nice piece with some super strong parallax here in the top layer mostly, but also all the way around here. I do see a couple smaller fractures here and there, but nevertheless a spectacular and very rare piece to get that amethyst from this location, and with the parallax surrounding the piece, it is a really nice specimen. I'll definitely get it polished, however it will still be on the more affordable side of pieces just because it has those smaller fractures, but the overall combination with the amethyst and the parallax make it a very desirable specimen. Another exciting specimen right here, it's got a small window over on that side with that creamy pinkish white color. Other than that, only smaller windows that are not too much of a problem. I see the biggest volume is probably somewhere around here, so that's exactly where I will be cutting through, also to get a nice round symmetric piece. This one has some parallax, it's a multiple floater, some float channels as well, but it does not quite match with my sense of aesthetics. Most of the agates from this location are fractured, but I'm just ignoring all signs I can see, like this one for example, or other fracturing lines that I think I can see in this rock here. And I can see there's a window here and there's an extended window over here, so I have a larger sized section where I could be cutting through and make a cut across here. So I think I will just do that and hope for some nice parallax. The parallax is not quite as tight as I was hoping for, but it's still a solid piece, just great color saturation, separated into two different chambers, and other than that, great translucency here in the center and just beautiful color shading from this pink to creamy white banding. Just unfortunate for this little fracture causing another color change here in the center of the piece, but it's a pretty solid one, I would call it. And actually it almost looks like a butterfly, I just realized. So pretty nice pair, and just one more piece to go. This is the last piece of the batch, and I think also the largest one of all of these. Unfortunately, I spot fracturing lines all over the entire piece, pretty much really everywhere is where they're going, and there's no way that I can avoid all of these. It does show a little bit nice banding, but on the other hand I can also see some windows where there's only quartz peeking through. There will be a lot of quartz, a lot of fractures in the stone, and I don't really have high hopes, so I'm just going for the I don't care cut right through the middle of the entire piece and just get 2 halves out of it and see what we're getting with that.
Oh my god.
Last piece, and we finally found a flyer. And yeah, just a very weird specimen with a large portion of quartz that is partially agatized, it seems, but just a tiny little layer of this salmon colored banding surrounding the specimen, and it is just not a very attractive piece for me. I paid a lot of money for the weight of the rough stone, just the way it is. Unfortunately, I'm losing a lot of money, and I would lose even more if I had to polish it, because I'd spend another $50 probably just to get it polished, and I'm not wasting more money on this piece, so that's why I'm calling it a flyer right into the trash bin. Alright, the results are final, and all of the agates have been cut from this rare locality in the Middle Atlas Mountains of Morocco, and there are 2 really good pieces that I'm very happy with. There's 3 pieces that are decently nice and that I will certainly get polished and put up on my webpage, and on this piece I decided it is pretty heavy, and shipping internationally does cost me a lot of money, so I decided to change my mind and will also have this piece end up in the trash pile, just because it would cost me more money to ship it than the actual worth of this stone is to me. So we have another flyer of this lot. And these are the 2 pieces which I think are the best ones. This one's just fantastic for the symmetry, the colors are amazing, the 2 eyes, this is such a beautiful piece overall. Just these tiny little hairline fractures that I think don't take away too much of the value of this specimen. And this one, of course, is just one of the wildest ones I've seen from this locality yet. Just such a gorgeous piece. I'm very happy for these 2, and these have to pay for the most part of this entire lot, just because the top quality agates, they are so rare, and these are also some nice ones that I will be getting polished. I hope you enjoyed seeing these other kind of agates, which you don't regularly get to see ever. So I hope you enjoyed watching the video and maybe even learned a little bit about cutting in different angles and how to get the most out of cutting your own specimens. Just creativity is a big part of doing the agate cutting, and also creating the most fun. Not always just cut it the same way, but be flexible with your thoughts about what you want to do. Leave it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, and of course also check out all of the videos I've been posting before, because I created plenty of content with beautiful agates, and it's definitely worth checking out. I'll see you soon again, and take care.